Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is Manifest with Me in March, episode 17. So today what we're going to talk about is what is holding you back. So as you guys all know, if you've been following this series, we are currently at the first quarter moon, which means when you look up in the sky, the moon appears as if it is split in half and it is inching closer and closer towards a full moon. During these 6 or 7 days, what we're really focused on is taking action. We've set our intentions, we've spent time visualizing our intentions, and we've grounded our intentions, and we've made action plans, and we've spent a lot of time planning. But this is the time where we actually get into our body and go out into the physical 3D world and get out of our heads, get out of our minds, and into our body and create change in our lives. So this is about taking the little baby steps. This is about maybe reaching out to somebody, or it's about actually taking that action to save the money that you need for the equipment or for this next step, or it's about enlisting the help that you need, the support that you need, signing up for the thing that you have to sign up for, or actually doing the work that it takes to help manifest this. As we've talked about in previous episodes, this manifestation process is not just about praying for something or writing something down and visualizing it and then sitting back and doing nothing. I think that there's a lot of misconceptions about the law of attraction and about manifesting, that it's like kind of like that movie The Secret, which I really loved, and there is a lot of validity to that because I personally made like a vision board and a lot of stuff came true on it, but there was stuff that I had to do like logically and physically in my life to make that possible. I love manifesting with the moon cycle because every phase of the moon, if you flow with that energy and if you take the certain action during that phase of the moon, your actions and your energies are amplified. And so this part of the full moon is the one part that I find personally I always want to skip, and I notice a lot of other people like to skip as well. This is like the make or break period of this manifestation cycle. Now, I've talked about in videos past that it doesn't exactly matter what action you take, it just matters that you do something, anything to stir up the energy. So it's not exactly about doing everything or finishing the project or like exhausting yourself or anything like that. It's just you have to do something, anything to stir up the energy. So if you are following this process and it has been a couple days and you haven't taken any action, or you haven't really done anything, or you haven't done this part of the process, or you're just stuck like planning action that you want to take but you haven't actually taken any, let's figure out what is holding you back. I'm going to be talking from my personal experience and also some things I've seen with my clients and then just people I know, and also human nature. So one thing that tends to hold us back is the fear of failure. Sometimes we can be so afraid that we're going to fail that we will self-sabotage and we will just decide, I'm not even going to try because it's not worth it, or you don't want to risk starting from the bottom, or like looking stupid, or like fumbling, or seeming like you don't know what you're doing. Change can be really difficult. Our body and our soul and our heart sometimes resists change because it can be more comfortable to stay where we've been in the routine we've been in. It takes a lot of focus to just change even the tiniest habits, like what you eat for breakfast or what you do when you first wake up. I mean, for me, adding gratitude in the morning and before I went to bed took a lot of self-discipline. It took a lot of like reminding myself, and like it just, even that, the littlest thing, it takes a lot of patience and diligence and focus. And so I feel like that's why sometimes we shy away from taking action towards our desires and our goals and our intentions, because we feel failure. So sometimes it's easier to not try because at least you feel like you somehow are still okay, or you know what I mean? So that can be a reason that we hold back. What helps cure that is, this might sound kind of silly, but realizing how much we actually suffer when we don't create change towards the things that we want. Let's say that you're trying to manifest a better apartment, because the apartment that you're in, you have annoying neighbors, or maybe it's in an unsafe neighborhood, or there's water leaks and there's bug problems or whatever. And so in order to do that, you're going to have to save up, enough for your deposit, and you're going to have to go out and look at the apartments, and you might have to change lifestyles and habits to be able to save that money to make it happen. And maybe you have to look at your job, or there's a lot of things that you have to do to take action on. So when you look at that situation and you realize how much suffering there really is in your life because of the action you're not taking, that does kind of help. It's not always butterflies and sunshine and think positive. Sometimes you have to be real with yourself and be like, you know what, like, I've created this situation, like, my choices are keeping me here, and I know that I can trust myself in order to make better choices, in order to do the work it takes little by little, in order to make the time to figure this out. Talking to yourself kindly, but also reminding yourself, look, like, this is an unhealthy situation. I'm not getting good sleep, or I don't feel safe here, or I feel I am worthy. I do deserve to have a nice place. And you know what I mean? Like, look at your situation. If you're having trouble, if you're afraid of failure, and that's why you're not moving forward, maybe realize how the lack of not having what you want to manifest is kind of creating a situation that doesn't make you happy, and realizing like that does help kind of light that fire under your butt to move forward to manifest. It's a balance. You want to be thankful for what you have. You want to look on the bright side. You want to definitely be thankful and learn how to be a good steward of the situation you're in, but also realize like you are empowered to create change, and sometimes suffering is what creates change. And sometimes in our life we don't change until we're in a situation where we're suffering so much that we have to do it. Don't wait for that point. Don't wait until you are suffering to create change. Learn to listen to your heart and to your intuition to know, like, it's time to move forward. It's time for me to try something new or go after my heart's desires. And so it's all about balance. It's about learning to find peace with where you're at, learning to find like contentment with what you already have, and trusting in the universe and whatnot, and having faith. But it's also about realizing if you're unhappy, you can do something to change it. You have the power. And also harnessing the energies of the universe. You have all the power of the universe, and the sun and the moon and the stars behind you. It's beautiful. So the next thing that keeps us from creating change can be opposite of that. It can be the fear of success. Because sometimes it's like we have this big dream, and that's kind of what keeps us going, and that's what keeps us motivated, and it's like really exciting, and sometimes it ends up kind of defining us in a way, like, I'm the person that wants to become the singer. But sometimes it's scary thinking, what happens when I get there, because I won't know what my goal is after that. I won't know what to do with that success, or what if I get there and it's not everything I thought it would be, or just whatever. Like, there's weird fears that kind of are attached to the fear of success. And so I think affirmations do help. Like, I'm worthy of success. Like, life is a journey. It's not about the destination. Once you get to the top of one mountain, then you see the other mountain, and then you got to climb that one. Then when you get to the top of that mountain, there's another one you got to climb. So learning to love the journey along the way, learning to realize it's a process will help you, and maybe not thinking too far ahead, just being in the moment. Like, you have this big dream, that's what keeps you going, but really focusing on every day, and like, what do you need to do today in order to, create a better life for yourself? What do you need to do today to celebrate the life you already have? So the fear of success can keep some people back, and I think affirmations really helps with that. And I think also realizing you're worthy of success does help. And redefining success. I think everyone's successful just for being who they are. Like, we all came to this planet to be ourselves authentically. Everyone has unique gifts and talents and purpose, and not everybody came here for the same reason. Not everybody has the same core intentions for their life here. And so getting in touch with your talents and your gifts, your core intentions through meditation and searching your soul, realizing who you are, that's kind of what life is all about. I think just waking up and being yourself every day and doing your best is amazing, and you don't have to be some huge CEO or like multi-millionaire or like cure cancer or something just to live your purpose and be yourself. Like, you never realize like the difference you make. It's like the butterfly effect. The tiniest little thing you do, you can make a big difference in someone's lives, and that can trickle on to, like passing that energy on, passing that torch, passing that light. You can light the flames of so many other people just by being who you are. You never know who you're inspiring just by living your truth. So connecting to your truth is a really important part of also the fear of success. You might need to redefine what success is and realize that you already are a success. But it's okay to have bigger, goals, dreams, and desires as well. We're here to evolve. We're here to grow, just like the plants, just like the animals, just like our bodies that are growing and aging. Our souls, our spirits, our mentality is also growing and evolving every day on this planet. So the next thing I'm going to talk about that holds us back is our past. And I've struggled with this, and I still struggle with this sometimes. I've told you guys I've been a victim of abuse, and I have PTSD, ADHD, and stuff like that kind of is part of that. And so maybe you have something similar, like a depression or anxiety. I also struggle with that. So I'm being real with you guys. Sometimes we get so attached to those labels. And we get so attached to what happened in the past, and we define ourselves by what has happened. And so we feel like because this and this and this has happened, then I can't do this. Or because I have this condition, then I can't do this. I think learning how to be realistic is helpful. I've been upset about people on my path, or like articles and stuff I've come across where people talk about mental health and depression or being victim of abuse like it's something you can just kind of get over. Sometimes this is a path you're on for your whole life. Sometimes you are dealing with anxiety for a long time. Sometimes you have a situation mental health wise that you can't necessarily make go away, even if you take medicine or you do alternative therapies and you exercise and you pray and you're like, spiritual or whatever. Sometimes there's still stuff that affects you, and you have to learn how to flow with that. So I think realizing that everyone's different and everyone's been through different things in their lives, and everyone has a past and everyone has crap they've been dealt. I mean, this is a world of contrast, up and down, hot and cold, dark and light. There's abuse, and then there's kindness. There's, so you're going to go through life and you're going to experience some sort of contrast. So I think realizing that we're all in this together and everybody has been through some kind of contrast and everyone has a story helps you realize that even though people pretend like they're fine and nothing's wrong with them, so many people have these mental health issues and just certain things going on, like ADHD or whatever, people on the spectrum. Like, everyone is different and unique, and we've all been through crap. And so when I realized that, it kind of helped me realize, I don't have to hold myself to such a high standard of being like a perfect person and waking up every single day and being super productive. And like, I think every person, even if they look like they're slaying their life, still has things that are going on. Somebody they know passed away, or they had a breakup, or something happened with the finances or whatever. Like, everybody's going through this. And so realizing that helps you to not be so hard on yourself, to expect that everything is going to be perfect all the time, to expect that you should handle everything perfectly all the time, and to realize that there's people out there who might have the condition you have, or who have been through the same kind of stuff you've had, like similar, and are still doing awesome things with their lives and still manifesting their goals and dreams. Just because you went through crap or you're dealing with the depression or something like that does not mean that you can't manifest. You don't have to be perfectly healed and perfectly like in 100% alignment in order to manifest things. You don't have to be perfect and I'm totally positive and everything's only love and light, like, and avoiding like your pain because of that. I call it spiritual bypassing, and it's not just something I call it. I've heard that from other teachers and healers. Spiritual bypassing is when you use spirituality and like positivity to like run away from the stuff that's happened in your past, to like kind of pretend like it didn't happen and just pretend like wish it all away, you know what I mean? There's also like kind of the opposite of that, which is where you use spirituality to dwell on that, or you use it to like keep yourself in that victim mode. So it's all about balance. What I'm trying to say here is that life has its ups and downs. You know, whatever labels you have or have been put on you, or whatever you identify with, don't identify with it so hard that it keeps you stuck. You can still move forward. You're just gonna have to work around your situation. Like with me and my ADHD, I have to do my best. I realize when I talk, I'm gonna get a little scattered, like I always do. I know I have trouble focusing on something. You might even see my eyes like darting around when I'm talking. I can't even focus at the camera. I have to set timers when I do my work because I know I can't sit there and focus for very long. I have to take it easy. It's probably why I love tarot so much, because I can sit there and I can actually hyper focus and get really in when I'm doing your readings, but that's about it. So anything else is hard for me to focus on. So, and depression. Some days I wake up and I feel really depressed and I'm like sad and I have memories and PTSD flashbacks, and on those days I just gotta do my best. You know, I can't expect myself to be a rock star every single day. Like, my lifestyle is very different, is very tailored to me and my unique situation, and maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe you need to work and manifest a lifestyle that's going to work for you. If you're extremely sensitive and you're an empath and you're artistic, maybe you need to manifest a situation where you're not doing a lot of customer service or dealing with like hundreds of people every day who are angry and yelling at you on the phone or at the front desk or whatever. Maybe you need to work a position that's like in the back, or find a way to do your art for a living. So anyways, another situation or thing that can kind of hold you back from taking action is just habits and routine. Some people might call this laziness, but I feel like that word is kind of like, calling somebody lazy, I feel like is similar to kind of calling somebody crazy. It's kind of derogatory. I think that it's more just maybe you're stuck in a certain habit or routine. Like you get up, you go to work, you come home, you get the fast food, you go do the Netflix, you fall asleep, whatever. You go out with your friends on the weekends. Like, you kind of get stuck in this routine, and I think that breaking the routine is hard, so that's why it's hard to take action. It's hard to like come home from work and then be like, okay, instead of doing that, I'm going to email this person, or I'm gonna go pick up these supplies, or I'm going to put the stuff up on eBay so I can get money to open the savings account so I can save for that thing. Or like, it's hard to break your habit and try something new. It's just hard. And so that's something that can keep you from taking action. So I think something that's helped me is hanging up reminders. Like, take a poster and get some poster board and write like just do it on it or something, or put a note by your bed with just one task. Don't sit there and make a task of 20 different things you got to do, because you're only going to do one or two and then you're going to feel depressed and you're going to go back to your old habits. Just one thing a day. That's what helps break your routine. Is like, I can still do my routine, I can still do my thing if you're really attached to that, but write down like just one little thing on a post-it note, or write like a big poster board, and just, you know, maybe even give yourself a reward. I do that all the time. Like, I always tell myself, if I get all my things done for this week, if I just do my one thing a day, then I get to get myself a new lip gloss or something, or I get to go visit this park I really want to go to, or whatever. It doesn't always have to be something you spend money on. It can just be like, I get to chill and bum this whole day instead of working, or, you know, give yourself little rewards for just doing a tiny little task. And sometimes that reward can just be like, I get to go back to my routine. So that's another thing that can keep you from taking action. One more thing that can keep you from taking action is judgment. Maybe you want to take action towards starting a new business or something. Maybe you want to be like a blogger, or like a model, or, you know, somebody who is an entertainer, performing arts in front of people. I've done readings for so many of you guys who have that gift. Like, it's awesome. So many talented people are part of this Rainbow Fam. But yeah, it can be scary. Like all of a sudden out of nowhere, you start a profile and you're modeling in your bikini or you're whatever, you're singing and putting your music out there. Of course, you're going to be afraid that like everybody you know is going to see that and is going to judge you, and that your exes are going to see it, and people you went to school with are going to see it. And so you're just worried, like, what are they going to think and what are they going to say, and are they going to talk shit on me? And then like you start really hyper focusing on that, and you start overthinking it, and then you start becoming a perfectionist, and so you want to perfect it, and so you like don't ever finish it, or you don't ever put it out there, instead of just like being vulnerable and like going for it. And so that's something that can keep you from moving forward, is just like the fear of what other people think. And I think we all struggle with this. I've come really far on this. This is like the main thing I've been working on the past couple years, is just being like, F what other people think, like I'm gonna be myself. I kind of had to do tarot and psychic readings. I kind of had to just, I had no choice, you know. I had some people that totally disagreed with it, and that, you know, they think I'm swindling people or something, or that I'm a fake, or that I'm like, I don't even know. I don't even care. Like, I know how that is, and I think that you suffer more when you aren't being your authentic self, when you aren't putting yourself out there, than you are when people judge you. Because when people judge you, that's a reflection of them. That's a reflection of what's going on inside of them. That's a paradigm of their own worldview, of like what they've experienced in their life, of what they think. So you don't have to take on those judgments. You don't have to take that on. You can just be yourself, and you'll be so much more happy for that. It's so freeing to just be who you are. And if you're being called to put yourself out there and start a business or a blog or to model or to do performing arts or to sing or to draw and like share it with others, and or create a business or something, like just do it, because you're going to be so much happier. I'm so much happier that I decided to put myself out there and model and do fashion and makeup and tarot and life coaching and all that, because now I'm living this life of abundance. I'm traveling the world, like I have connections. It's amazing. Like I feel so free and so liberated, and I look back and I'm like, wow, what if I just never put myself out there? What if I just never tried? What if I just kind of settled and just stayed at like a day job? And what if I just listened to those voices and to those judgments and to the things people said? And what if I wouldn't be where I am today? And so you have so much to gain. You have everything to gain from being yourself and taking action, putting yourself out there, and you have nothing to lose, literally nothing to lose. There have been times where I have failed on my path. There have been times where I did something, I put myself out there and it didn't work and it failed. But every single one of those situations was like a learning opportunity for me, and it also helped push me onto my path of success. Failure is just like a little lily pad that helps you leap to the next thing on your path. You know, failure is a stepping stone. I think I've read that before. So don't be afraid of the failure, what people think. Don't be afraid to fail in front of everybody. Like, you get stronger for it. The more that you fail, the more chances you have to succeed. You can't succeed without failure. And maybe you can redefine failure. Maybe failure doesn't even have to be a thing. Maybe it's just like, oh, well, I did that and it didn't exactly have the results I wanted, so I'll try something else. Cool. Like, just keep trying, just keep putting yourself out there, just keep doing different things. I admire people who I see like reinvent themselves and try different things all the time. Like, you gotta just, like I said, try different things to see what works for you. So at a certain point though, you do kind of have to choose something and stick with it. But, you know, trying different things, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, putting yourself out there, you've got nothing to lose. Anybody who will disown you for it, who will think differently for it, will judge you or say anything about you, those are not your true friends, those are not your true family, those are not people you should keep in your circle. Those people don't deserve a seat at your table. And you'll realize that most of those voices and judgments are really just inside your head. Start speaking nice to yourself. Talk to yourself as if you're like a little child, because we are adults in these adult bodies, but somewhere deep inside of us, there's still like this inner child that's like scared and shy and like a little afraid. So you can talk to yourself like in your head, like when you find yourself being mean and kind of bullying yourself with the inner critic, just be like, it's okay, don't worry, like you can do it, like take that step, it's gonna be so worth it. And You know, it doesn't matter what people think. Like, it sounds cheesy, but just speak kindly to yourself. So I hope this cleared some things up for you guys. No more excuses. I don't care what you're going through or what life you're living or where you're from or what's happening. No excuses. You can take a baby step, okay? You can take a baby step. And trust me, I've heard your stories. I do care about you guys. I know some of you guys are going through hell right now, but you can't afford to not take action. If you're doing Manifest with me and you skip this week, it's not gonna, you probably could still manifest some stuff. The universe is full of miracles and abundance, but it's gonna be better for you if you can just do something, take some action. So those of you guys who are just planning, no more planning. Get out in the world and do something. I'm gonna keep inspiring you guys to hustle and to work and to make it happen this week, the next couple days. And when we get to the full moon and the balsamic moon, you guys will get to rest. You guys will get to take a break. The energy is gonna shift, and this is just where we're at right now, okay? Sending you guys so much love and light. I believe in all of you. I think you guys are doing absolutely amazing. I love getting updated and hearing where you guys are at in the process. Some of you guys are like really owning it and really making things happen, and I'm like so inspired by that. So just keep it up, all right? I'll see you guys later. Peace out.